inspired to start Two Coves Farm because we wanted to be in business for ourselves, running a farm and producing good food for families. I have never been to a real factory farm. I've driven past them. I've seen a lot of them on videos. I've been to a couple large confinement dairies, which are kind of like factory farms, and I guess the overwhelming thing about it was just the feeling of all those animals confined inside. It was messy. It was uncomfortable, and they just didn't seem to be in the best situation that they could be in. Factory farms are a problem. I think whenever you have something that there's too much of something in one area, whether you're only growing one crop or you're only raising one animal, I think it's a problem because nature doesn't work that way. Nature relies on diversity, and when you only have one animal getting fed one thing in one place, it's going to create problems. And I think the environmental damage of factory farms is pretty significant. It's cheap, but that's about the only thing that it's got going for it. If there isn't any reforming factory farms. I think they have to be completely abolished because there's no such thing as a good factory farm. They're always going to cause environmental problems. They're always going to be harder on the animals. We need to move to a system that has small producers feeding a local community. Factory farms rely on the shipping of, all across the country of meat and milk and cheese, and if we just had smaller producers, you'd have more family farms, you'd have more local food, you'd have less fossil fuel, less pollution, better for the environment. So the only way to reform a factory farm is to get rid of it. Grass-fed meat is better in a lot of ways. For starters, that's what cows and sheep and goats in particular are designed to eat. In other words, that's what their body is designed to digest, is forage, greenery, grass, leaves, things people call weeds. And when you give an animal grain, corn, soy, barley, if you give them grain, it changes their body. And that means the meat and the milk and the fat, everything they produce is also different. The other things about grass-fed meat that are really important are that the animals on grass don't require a large amount of fossil fuel, so you don't need to be running a lot of equipment and heating big barns. When the animals are outside, they're bringing their fertilizer right to where you need it, and harvesting without the use of a machine. They're harvesting the grass themselves. And so it's better for the environment because you're letting the animals do what nature intended them to do. They're not polluting an area with their manure and their urine. They're just fertilizing, and then they go on to another place. And they don't ever get, they don't smell, they don't ever, we don't ever need a vet, really. And then all the food that's created from grass-fed animals has been proven on a number of levels to be better for people. There's more vitamin content, there's more, the protein is better type of protein, the fat is a better type of fat. If they have more diverse amount of amino acids to help in human health and disease prevention. In farming. We hire people periodically to help us with different jobs, but we don't have really any employees. I'm lucky right now. I have a couple young people who just like to be here, so they come and help with the farm. chores and do projects with me. One thing that's always constant is chores. Every morning and every afternoon we go out and we take care of all the feed and water. We do have to feed our pigs and chickens some grain because pigs and chickens can't live on grass alone. So usually we have to feed and water everybody. A lot of people get moved every day. Animals. A lot of animals get moved every day. We have to move chicken coops. We have to move fences. We spend a lot of time with our dogs because the dogs are workers on this farm too. So we will spend a lot of time either working the dogs or walking the dogs or training the dogs. And so that's sort of at the beginning and end of every day. We also have a family milk cow, so we milk her in the morning and the afternoon. And then in the middle, we just work on projects that need doing. Sometimes we're building something new or fixing something that's been dilapidated, or maybe there's a project where we have to, we're putting a bunch of chickens in the freezer or something like that. So chores, and then projects in the middle. It's pretty much. Then we try to eat once in a while. The most rewarding part of being a farmer is being able to work outside for myself and work with animals and being able to take care of a piece of land. And all of that goes into being able to give people good food to eat, and that's really rewarding. When they take home half a pig or a bunch of chickens and they are happy and their freezer's full, and they know where their food came from.